What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Betcha Breakdown Show. If you haven't already signed up for Betcha, you're just making bad life choices. Go download the Betcha app, deposit using the code Grinders, and guess what? You get free money. That's basically free money. 100% deposit bonus up to $200. So you deposit 50, you get 50 Betcha or 50 free dollars. Put in 100, get 100 free dollars. 200 free dollars. It's that simple. It's free money. All you have to do is play through it, and it is yours. And guess what? We're going to be giving you picks each and every week on the show every Friday. So you don't even have to do any research. You can just throw exactly what we tell you to throw in, and boom, make some money. So real simple. This app is prop parlays. So we look at this. You go in, different amount of props, pay different amount of money for winners. So 2 pays 2.5x your buy-in. 3 props pays 5x your buy-in. 4 props, 8.5 to 10, depending on where you're going at. So it's always a little bit tough to figure out exactly what you want, how many you want to put in each individual one. My suggestion is, you know what, go a little bit cheaper, go a little bit more simple, 2, 3, 4x picks on your initial player prop. And then after that, when you get your Betcha bucks, if you lose, because you get Betcha bucks if you get 50% or more correct, but don't actually get all of them correct. So if you get 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 4 or 1 out of 2, you don't lose entirely. You get Betcha bucks back, and that's where you don't get the original equity. It's kind of the same as a free bet on most sports betting sites, where you just don't get the original equity, and then you go 4x, 5x every time, trying to maximize the total amount of money you can get back. That's the best strategy. They got contests from pretty much every sport. I mean, they got NBA, NHL, MLB, CSGO, that's Counter-Strike, I believe, golf,
yep,
NASCAR, League of Legends. I've won some money in League of Legends in my day, back in the draft pod. Were you ever on draft pod, Dan?
I was not on Draft Pop, no.
They had some free League of Legends free rolls, and I won like 4 of them. All I know is that a jungler is the thing, I believe, which might not even be correct. Who knows?
I was watching some league before he came on here. The LPL is back in action starting today. So
I don't even know what the LPL is.
That's the Chinese league.
All right. Well, now we know. But yeah, guys, go get signed up using promo code Grinders, because we got some picks for you today. We're going to start off with the Royals and the whatever they're called, Orioles. So both the pitchers in here are absolutely awful. I don't think that you disagree with me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would say both these pitchers are bad.
Yeah, I do not disagree with that assessment. The only sad thing that I saw when I opened up this game, I already had a bit of a discussion this morning with Chris Jimino, head of our projections at Rotogrinders, about Andrew Benintendi specifically, and how I think we were coming in hot. And we had this whole conversation about how his projection, he actually projects, he has no power, but he projects for 1.5 or close to 1.5 singles in this spot, which is unheard of. But Benintendi is not currently offered. So I was a little sad to see that one.
Yeah, that is sad. I mean, Heasley is not a very good pitcher. So, I mean, we can make 2 parlays on this one. We can go Heasley. So I like to correlate these things, obviously. That's one of the best ways you can possibly do things, is make them heavily correlated. So if Heasley is putting the ball in play a ton, I want the under on strikeouts. And if he's putting the ball in play a ton, then I think Hayes, and I kind of like Mancini over 1.5. So Hayes over 1.5 total bases, Mancini over 1.5 total hits plus walk. Now Heasley just been downright awful. Some of the worst numbers in the league so far this season. XFIP is all the way around like 7 so far this season. Walking everyone, not striking out anyone, 12.8%. Granted, Bubic did just put up a decent strikeout matchup versus this team yesterday, but he's walking a ton of lefties. He's walking a ton of righties. I kind of like going with Mancini over walks plus hits. He's a patient bat versus righties. So going with the over on that, and then Hayes, solid enough bat, decent numbers versus righties this year, sitting around a 400 WOBA. I like the over on him, even though Heasley has been a little bit better with his numbers versus righties. The underlying numbers show a lot of hard contact, not many ground balls, not striking out a ton of guys, balls being put in play more. So I kind of like that. Is there anyone else you would want to throw in here, or do you anyone else that you like better? Mullins, maybe.
So I like your idea of the correlation here, going opposing hitters with the pitcher under. I love Cedric Mullins, but I also think taking the walks. So Mancini's the only one that has the walk added in there. The other guys are 1.5 total bases. Mancini is hits plus walks. It's not very often you see a starting pitcher with a walk rate that's higher than his strikeout rate, and that's what we get with Heasley. So I like the idea of keeping Mancini in there because of the walks. Added factor in there, and then I mean I like Mullins slightly more than Hayes, but I think either is a fine option.
Yeah, well, we can go with either. I mean, Heasley's been bad to both, so I mean, if you want, you can just straight up go with a big 8.5x payout with four of
Just
them,
do all of
and
them.
yeah, go Mullins over. And then on the other side, if we do Zimmerman, then I mean, Perez is so good with the nice thing is all these guys are getting the platoon split. Zimmerman has been bad versus righties, striking out them at 13.7% clip this season, 44.2% hard contact rate. We know that Witt is good. Perez is very good with a ton of pop. And even if we want to, we can throw in Whit Merrifield. I'm not as big of a fan of him, but Sal Perez and Bobby Witt both over 1.5 total bases, and then rolling with the under on Zimmerman is a solid overall call. Are you with me with that?
I'm with you. Yep.
All right. So boom, we got two there. Let's see. I'm not ready. Let's do one basketball one. So obviously this series has been fun. It's been a good one, but some blowouts. I mean, I'm trying to figure it. So Curry's obviously been fantastic. Let's go ahead and look at what RG projects. I know you work on the projection team a decent amount. Let's see what the biggest outliers here are on some of these players. Let's see. Tatum we have projected for 29 points. Do you want to go with Tatum over on points?
Yeah, I like Tatum overs. For sure. I like Tatum overs. And I almost with these things, like, yes, I like looking at stats, but we're also at the point where they're going to play so many such heavy minutes. I like going with the PRAs too. For guys like Tatum, gives you a little bit wiggle room if he outperforms a certain category, but falls a little short somewhere else.
Now let's see. Jason Tatum, points, rebounds, assists. We have projected for 41.5. It looks like either one's fine. So we can go with points, rebounds, assists for that one. Another one that looks like RG projects for a lot more than he currently has is Draymond. We have projected for 10.68 points. Obviously not the greatest offensive player in the world, but he's going to play the minutes. They're trying to cover Steph, trying to cover Clay, trying to cover Poole, whoever else is in there who's a bigger offensive threat a little bit more. So Draymond over 7.5 points, where we have projected 10.68. I think that's pretty solid. You with me there?
Yeah, I mean that's another one where we have a pretty big PRA edge too, which I would prefer because I mean you never want to rely on Draymond scoring necessarily, but you could see you could almost see a double out of points or rebounds and assists in a spot like this if he does continue to get minutes. So we have him projected for 24 points, rebounds, and assists, and the line here is 20.5.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that. I'm rolling with it. Then another one that I already bet today on a legal sports betting site. The line is moving a bunch. I got it minus 105, and I think the best line's at minus 110 now, and I think some sites have it minus 115. Is Andrew Wiggins over 1.5 3-pointers made? We currently have him projected for 2.21. I think it's a solid bet. I already put a half G on it over on Fox Bet or DK or something like that. Do you like that one?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So we have a nice little 3x parlay. Let's see if we can find one more. I'm checking for pretty big outliers here. Steph over 4.5 3-pointers made isn't bad. Pool, let's see if he has no, they don't have his 3-pointer prop. Let's check out assists. See if there's any.
Do you think there's anything to the Steph injury?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it matters. He's still going to be Steph, but there's always a possibility that like we can play that where we just hit the overs on Wiggins, on Poole, on Clay if the injury is a little bit more. Like, do you want to make?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is we have this pretty much right in line with his PRA. We have it at 40.05, and 40.5 is the line. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But if he is hobbled in the slightest, or if you think this turns into a Boston goal or a Boston blowout, I think there's angles where you could play it either way and take some unders. But if you're taking that route again, I'd be wanting to coordinate it with some other things for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're taking that route, so we have the first one here. It's just Wiggins over, Tatum over, Draymond over. It's right there on the screen. But if we go and we play the angle that Steph's out, or not Steph's out, Steph's hobbled and he's not going to be able to do a ton. What we could do is Wiggins over points, Clay over points, and Poole over points. I think we have to throw someone in the other side. We can probably just roll Tatum points and do a nice little parlay like that. I mean, because if Steph's actually injured, then I still think this game has a decent chance to stay close. Even without Steph, Golden State has enough depth. They can match up with anyone. I know Boston's been the better team so far this series. I think that the Warriors end up winning tonight, which, I mean, it seems like it's just going to go back and forth. It's a fun series. But yeah, if Steph is hobbled, if he's not going to be able to do as much on the offensive end, if he's playing at less than 100%, I have to assume that Wiggins, Clay, and Poole all hit the over on their points, and then just kind of hoping that Tatum hits the over on his points. Do you kind of agree with me on this one?
Yeah, I think just the important thing is to correlate it, right? Like, no matter what your take is. So your take is it stays close. I think it's completely reasonable to think if you want to go the other route and say it doesn't stay close, then we're looking at unders, right, for some of these starters. So I think just as long, I wouldn't be mixing and matching overs and unders. I would take a hard stance on either direction that you want to go. So if your stance is Steph hobbled, other guys pick up, game stays close, then overs 100% makes sense. If your stance is Steph hobbled, game is not close, then go the under route. So it just correlate is really all that matters here.
Yeah, and I guess we could also take out or add Steph in for under 29.5 points. Again, assuming that he's hobbled, go with the over on Poole, Clay, Wiggins, who are the three guys that are really going to pick up the extra workload offensively, and take the under on Steph. So not a bad way to do it, but yeah, I think that should pretty much do it. We'll be back again next week. Again, if you haven't signed up already, just go on over to Betcha, download the app, use the promo code Grinders and get that free deposit bonus and get free money. And we're giving you the picks. Anything before I get out of here, Tuttle?
No, enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, enjoy the weekend, guys. We'll be back here next week. We're out of here. See you, kids.